After Therese had blown out her candles and had opened the presents of her favorite bath and body products from her aunt and uncle and Mr. and Mrs. Stern, she went outside to the 2 giant elms in the back of what was now her aunt and uncle's property, searching for her favorite red birds, her parents. She couldn't understand their song without the help of Hermie and Hestie to translate, but she had a feeling they were singing her a happy birthday wish. Besides, their words were less important than their presence. Their gift of immortality, even if they couldn't be human, had been the best gift anyone had ever given her. And she had received many amazing gifts, she thought, as she clutched the lockets around her neck. One had come from Athena, with the inscription, "The most common way people give up their power is by believing they have none." The other had been a Christmas present from her Aunt Carol, and it contained a photo of her parents on one side and a photo of Carol, Richard, and Lynn on the other. She rarely took the lockets off. She'd also received a crown of invisibility from Artemis. It wasn't as powerful as Hades' helm. The crown could only hide one from mortals, but it had come in handy over the years, especially when Jen had still lived at home. Perhaps the most useful was the traveling robe from Aphrodite. The first one had been ripped to shreds years ago during Therese's challenge with the Hydra, but Aphrodite had given her another one after the twins were born. It had helped Therese get around when she was in a hurry, and it had also helped her to take Than and the twins to visit the underworld from time to time, though it had been almost a year since they'd been. She would go more often if she didn't feel as though she was in the way. The gods were busy and rarely seemed to have time for Therese and her family. And, of course, her animal companions, Clifford, Jules, and Stormy, had been granted immortality, which had been a wonderful thing, though she had to admit it only reminded her of what she and Than had lost. Now Jen rode Stormy across the skies, and Therese rarely saw him. And she worried about who would take care of Clifford and Jules once Therese and Than and the twins were in the Elysian fields of the underworld, living eternity in blissful oblivion. She blinked away her tears. 37. She was 37 years old. She and Than had both aged, and were reminded of it every time they saw the ever-youthful Hip and Jen, Pete and Tizzy, and the others. In fact, Therese now looked the same age as Persephone, and Than looked more like Hades' brother than his son. Maybe that was another reason they didn't visit the underworld often. She was brought from her reverie when she heard the twins around the corner on the deck at the side of the house. They seemed unaware of Therese as they sat at the table where Therese used to sit with her father to watch the deer, chipmunks, and wild horses that came out at sunset. "So what did Morpheus say to you, exactly?" Hestie was asking. "The gods are fighting," Hermie replied. "And Mom and Dad are in danger. I think he said we all are." Therese held her breath. "Well, let's both pray for him tonight and see if we can find out more," Hestie suggested. Then Lynn spoke up. "You're in danger? And why would you pray to Morpheus?" Lynn had met Morpheus many times when he'd visited in human form, and she knew he was their cousin. Hermie stuttered. "Lynn, I didn't hear you follow us out." "It's a video game," Hestie said. "Why are you lying to me?" Lynn insisted. "Why are you in danger?" "It's cold out here. Don't you guys want to come inside?" It was Bobby. "Lynn overheard us talking about Morpheus," Hermie said. "We don't know what to say." "Why would the twins pray to your nephew?" Lynn asked. "I don't think they meant pray literally," Bobby said. "That's a new slang word. People say, 'I'll pray to you later,' and what they mean is, 'I'll text you later.'" Lynn said, and it sounded to Therese like she wasn't buying it. "But you still haven't said why you're in danger." Therese realized the time had come for Lynn to know the truth. It wasn't fair for the adults to keep putting their children in these sticky situations.